Today we will continue with the special products. Today we are going to see the square of a trinomial. Remember, a trinomial, it's an algebraic expression composed by three terms. So in this case, we will have something like x plus y plus c to the second power. So the rule of the square of a trinomial will be the square of the first term plus 2 times the product of the first and second term plus 2 times the product of the first and third terms plus the square of the second term plus the product of the second and third term plus the square of the third term. Maybe if you read it by text, it can get a little difficult to read it, but in the formula it will be easier to see it because it's like having something very similar than binomial squared because it's the square of every term. That means x squared, y squared, and z squared, and 2 times all the combinations. In this case, we can combine x and y, we can combine x and c, and we can combine y and c. That's why we have 2 times every combination. So it's simple. It's every letter squared plus 2 times every combination. But the correct order is the one that it's on the text because of alphabetical order and descending order of powers. And that's why the correct order is this one. But maybe we can remember that it will be always all the terms squared plus all the combinations of letters 2 times. So let's see the demonstration of this one. Remember, to demonstrate, we need to do like the whole multiplication. So in this case, we got a trinomial squared. So it's like having the same trinomial 2 times. So first we need to multiply the first term by every term in the second parenthesis. So we will get something like x multiplied by x squared plus xy plus xc. Then it will be the second term multiplying every term in the second parenthesis. So it will be plus xy because of the order. Then it will be plus y squared plus yz. And finally, it will be the third term multiplying every term in the second parenthesis. So it will be something like plus xz plus yz plus z squared. If we do here the correct ordering and also like term simplification, we will start with x squared. Then with xy, we have plus xy plus xy. That's why we have 2xy. Then with xz, we have xc and xc. That's why we have 2xc. Then we have a y squared. Then we will get yc and yc. That's why we get 2yc. And finally plus c squared. And this is why the demonstration of this special product, it's the one that we have on the top part, that it's all the combinations multiplied by 2 and all the terms squared. So this is the demonstration for a trinomial squared. So let's see some examples. So the first example is something like this: 3x plus 2y plus 5c squared. So the rule says that we need to have the first term squared plus 2 times the first and the second term multiplied plus 2 times the first and the third term, then the square of the second term plus 2 times the second by the third term, and finally the last term squared. So here it will be something like 9x squared plus 2 times 3, it's 6 times 2, it's 12xy plus 2 times 3, it's 6 times 5, it's 30xc. Then it will be something like 4y squared plus 20yc plus 25c squared. And this is going to be our final and ordered answer. So if we use the first one, we will need to order it first, but if we remember the one that it's ordered, we will get a better result because we will get the order result on the first exercise, and we will need to order it in another step. So let's see some other example. So on the second example, we have a negative one that it's minus 8v, but don't worry, we will use the same formula, but we will need to remember the signs. We need to respect the signs. So in this case, it's going to be the first term squared plus 2 times the first and the second term multiplied, then plus 2 times the first and the third term plus the second term squared plus 2 times the second term multiplied by the third term plus the third term squared. So the final answer is going to be 49a squared plus, it will be 8 times 7. It will be minus because it will be plus multiplied by minus. Then it's going to be 8 by 7. It's 56 times 2. So it will be 112 AV plus, then it's going to be 7 times 6. So it will be 42 AC. Then it will be plus because remember negative multiplied by negative, it's plus. It's going to be 64 V squared. Then it will be minus because it's plus multiplied by minus multiplied by plus. 2 times 3, it's 6, times 8, it's 48 VC plus 3 squared, it's 9, C it's squared, it's C squared, and this is going to be our final and ordered answer. So don't worry if we got negative signs. We can do it as we did it in the first example. We will only need to remember we need to respect the signs on each term. So that was example number 2. Let's do another example. So the third example is something like this. We have 2 of them that are negative ones, but don't worry, we will use the same rule respecting the signs. So it will be the rule, remember, it's the first one squared plus 2 times the first one multiplied by the second one plus 2 times the first one multiplied by the third one plus the second one squared plus the second one 2 times, 2 times the second one multiplied by the third one plus the third one squared. So in this case, it's going to be 4 squared, it's 16. Then x 3 to the second power, it's going to be multiplying 3 times 2. So it will be 3 times 2. You can skip this part. I will do it only because of the explanation. The second one is going to be 4 times 2, it's 8, times minus 6, it's minus 48. It will be x to the 3 plus 1. I know you can do it by mind, but I will explain it this way. The next one is going to be minus 8. It's going to be x, here it's number 2, I'm sorry. It's going to be x cubed plus 1. And the next one is going to be plus, because remember, negative by negative, it's plus 36x, and it's going to be 2 times 2. Then it's going to be plus, because it's plus multiplied by minus, it's minus multiplied by minus, it's plus. So it will be 12x squared plus 1. Then we will get something like plus, because minus multiplied by minus, it's plus x squared. So our final answer is going to be 16x to the 6 minus 48x to the 5th minus 8x to the 4th plus 36x to the 4th plus 12x to the 3rd plus x squared. And in this specific case, we got two of them that are like terms. So our final answer, we can simplify it, and it will be 16x to the 6 minus 48x to the 5 plus 28x to the 4th plus 12x cubed plus x squared. And this is our final ordered and simplified answer. So don't worry, we can have positive ones, positive and negative ones. The rule, it will apply for every one of the trinomial squared. So let's see some other example. So the fourth exercise is going to be something similar, but it will be with fractions. So in this case, we need to continue using the rule. So it will be the first term squared plus 2 times the first term multiplied by the second term plus 2 times the first term multiplied by the third term plus the second term squared plus 2 times plus 2 times the second term multiplied by the third term plus the third term squared. So in this case, it will be, remember, when doing the square of a fraction, we need to multiply or do the square of the numerator and the square of the denominator. So it will be 25 fourths or quarters of a to the 6, because remember, the power of a power that they get multiplied. Then it will be, we can simplify this 2 with this 2, so it will be plus 7 times 5, 35 quarters. I will put the number 4 better. So it will be 35 quarters of a cubed b to the fifth. Then we can simplify also this 2 with this 2. So it will be minus, because it's plus multiplied by plus multiplied by minus. So it will be minus 10 thirds of a cubed c squared, plus, then it's going to be 49 over 16. V, it's going to be 5 times 2, so it's 10 because power of a power. Then in this case, we can have 2 times 2, it's 4. So we can simplify it with this 4. So it will be minus, because it's plus multiplied by plus multiplied by minus. It will be 7 thirds of b to the fifth c squared. Finally, plus, because remember, a negative number to the square power, it's positive 1. It's going to be 4 over 9. C is going to be 2 times 2, so it's going to be c to the fourth. And this is our final and ordered answer. So as we saw, we can have also fractions, and it will be very similar way to do it. So we will need only to remember the rule and apply it. So let's see a last example with letters as exponents. So the last example is going to be something like this. So remember, it's the same. So it will be using the rule that says the first term squared plus 2 times the first term multiplied by the second term plus 2 times the first term by the third term plus the second term squared plus 2 times the second term by the third term plus the third term squared. So in this case, it's going to be something very similar. It's only using the specific rule, and we will get minus squared, it's plus, so we will get 25, and it will be x. In this case, I will do it in 2 steps, so it's going to be 3a minus 2, but you can do it by mind. The next one is going to be plus, because it's plus multiplied by minus multiplied by minus. So it will be 20. It's going to be x to the 3a minus 2 plus 2a plus 1. Then the next one is going to be minus, because it's plus multiplied by minus multiplied by plus. It's going to be 30. It's going to be x to the 3a minus 2 plus a plus 2. The next one is going to be plus, because remember, the square power of a negative number, it's positive, so it will be 4x, and it's going to be 2 times 2a plus 1. Then it's going to be minus, because it's minus multiplied by plus multiplied by minus. So it's going to be 12x to the 2a plus 1 plus a plus 2. Finally, plus 9x to a plus 2. So we could get something like 25x to the 6a minus 4 plus 20x to the 5a minus 1 minus 30x to the 4a minus 2 and plus 2. Then it's going to be plus 4x to the 4a plus 1. then we will get something like minus 12x to the 3a plus 3, and finally plus 9x to the 2a plus 2. So in this case, we can change these two of order because it's bigger having 4x to the 4a plus 1 and minus 30x to the 4a. So we can have it like this. So the correct final answer is going to be this one, that it's correctly ordered. So it will be this one. So don't worry, we can have fractions as exponents, we can have letters as exponents, we can have negative and positive numbers. The rule is the same. It will be always using the rule and only multiplying. So that's all for today. You can do now the activity of the square of a trinomial.